Hey vinyl community, today instead of doing a Beatles related video, I'm going to show you all the LPs that I have of the band called the Kinks. And they started off in the early mid-60s, 1964 I think it was, and although they were never as big as things like the Beatles, you know, I mean, to me, they were one of the best bands I've ever heard, okay? And I'll show you all the albums. I haven't got quite all the albums, but I've got the majority. Now this is their debut album, which is called Kinks, and it just consists of covers and a few original songs, and a couple of instrumentals. I think Revenge is one, and even a few songs written by Shel Talmy, who's their American producer. And the original label was Pi, although they did go through various label changes throughout the career. And the second LP I've got here, called Kinda Kinks, that was their second album, and similar to the first album in that it's got, you know, covers and original songs. I'll show you the Pi labels for this one. Sort of like a cherry plum Pi label there. Lovely colour. And the third album is called The Kink Controversy, and that is Dave Davies playing the guitar, and he's the lead guitarist and brother of Ray Davies, who was obviously, you know, he was the leader of the band. He wrote most of the stuff, and we're still on Pi at this point, still on same Pi label. And this album, but by this time they're starting to incorporate slightly more original songs than covers, you know. I mean, this has got Till the End of the Day on, which was released as a single, and it's, you know, it's an absolutely fantastic song, really catchy. And yeah, a lot of the stuff is just sort of like mod blues style stuff. And also on Marble Arch, they just did a lot of sort of budget LPs, you know, with all the hits on. Well respected, Kinks being one of them. It just like a compilation of lots of the hit singles, B-sides. And interestingly, this was the first LP I ever owned. Got it from a small shop somewhere on holiday. Not on Pi this time. On Marble Arch. It's got like an advertisement sleeve. And on a yellow Marble Arch label. And the way I feel like this, the next one being Sunny Afternoon, which was released in sort of 65, 66, around the same time as this one. Show the back there. There's Sunny Afternoon. Again, just a compilation of hit singles like Dead and Straight, Dedicated, Full of Fashion, See My Friends, and others. Track listing. It's on the same label as the other one. And of course, one of the more elusive Kinks albums, Face to Face. Now this is without doubt one of the rarest ones I've got. My dad only paid £18 for this, right? Thinking it was going to be a really pure copy. Excellent condition. So pleased to have this. I'm not sure if there are any covers on this album. Still on Pi. And we're moving on to 1967 now, and we've got the Kinks live at Kelvin Hall. This is also an original, hard to find mono copy, which got for about 50 quid and is in excellent condition. Has the original sleeve, same pie label as the back. And as we start getting towards the late 70s, pie switched from red to blue for some reason. And so you'll find that later Kinks LPs from late 60s to early 70s all come on blue pie label. And here it is, folks. Nah, it's not an original, but it's something just as good, right? It's on green splatter vinyl, and these are limited to only 1,000 ever made. And I've got number 27, very early one indeed. And I'll show you one of them. You get the mono and the stereo, and they look absolutely magnificent, I have to say. Here's a mono sleeve there, and it's the stereo one. Anyway, here it is, folks. There we are, look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. And when it's playing, it looks absolutely brilliant as well. And we've got a copy of Kinda Kinks when it's reissued on Marble Arch. Usually they miss off a track or two, but this is actually the full track listing on here, so that's good. Then Kinks on Golden Hour, just a compilation of the hits. Here we are, Arthur or the Decline and Fall of the British Empire, 1969. This is not an original pressing. It's on pie, but it's a later pressing. Though it's not. It's still pretty early because it's got the stereo NSPL sticker stuck where it would say mono normally, because they just reuse the covers. And it hasn't got any of the Gatefold or the Victoria cut out or anything. But nonetheless, there it is, on pie. So it's still nice to have. And 1970, one of my favourite Kinks albums ever. The one, the only, Lola. Track listing on the back, stereo, yeah, stereo, and as the inner gatefold, as all song lyrics printed either side. Now here's an example of the blue pie. See? Same sort of label, just different colour. And the original copies of this are hard to get, so I'm very pleased about getting this one for £15 from a dealer in Sunderland. What a bargain. Very nice guy who gave us this for such a low price. I mean, it's not in brilliant condition, but you know, I'm just pleased to have one. Now here is one of the gems of the collection. It's an original Percy in its original shrink wrap. Absolutely mint. Totally mint. Not a crackle on it. 65 quid that cost. Well worth every penny. Blue pie. Absolutely chuffed to have that. Nope. And next we've got Muswell Hillbillies, one of the Kinks' best albums ever, from the 70s. Although by this point they've moved away from pie and have now gone on to RCA Records. And to be honest, RCA Records was probably their least successful record label, just because Ray Davies had a complete change in direction, which I'll explain more about as we get to the albums. This is a British copy, otherwise it would say Dynaflex. At the bottom, say it's American. And yeah, again, original British copies of this can cost you a few quid, you know. But well worth getting.